wearing my new favorite shirt that I bought in the little boys section. But like, how cool is this shirt? All of my Dragon Ball Z fans out there, all of my nerdy friends out there, please appreciate this shirt with me. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina, and today I'm doing something that I thought was an original idea, but then I went into the YouTube search bar and realized I'm not that original. So this is a video that I thought I conceived on my own, but as all things on the internet, and especially on YouTube, I hadn't seen any of these videos yet, so I didn't know they existed, but luckily I did some research and found out that a lot of people have done this, so I will just pop some up on the screen for you right now. There's one here, and one here, and one here. But this is the idea that I so cleverly came up with that I didn't actually come up with first, talking about brands that I've never tried before. So today we are going to be talking about a bunch of brands that I've never tried before. I'm going to give you the reasons why. Some of them will be a little controversial, maybe, possibly. We'll see. Now before we get into the brands that I'm going to talk about today, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I do upload Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard. Don't want you guys to miss out on that, so just make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you can actually get notified, because I still don't know why, but just make sure to hit the bell notification, that way you actually know when I do upload. And now let's just get into talking about brands that I've never bought from and why. So as always, I've done my homework. I wrote down a bunch of brands that I've never tried before. I don't know if I'm gonna put them all in this video. I might separate this out. I think I'm gonna talk about the biggest brands today. I haven't tried major, large companies, and some of them I actually don't know why, and others I have really strong opinions on, so let's just get into number one. So the first one I'm going to talk about today is actually one that I think will shock most people, and that's actually MAC Cosmetics. Now obviously if you are an avid YouTube or a beauty YouTuber watcher, then MAC Cosmetics is one of those brands that everyone stands. Most of the people on YouTube who are major YouTubers worked for MAC. Let me tell you a thing. In the YouTube history, when MAC was at its prime recommended status, I was broke. I was in college, I barely had enough money for food. So a $17 lipstick really didn't appeal to me. I was not rolling in any sort of cash, and it just didn't seem like a smart investment. Like, I didn't need a purple lipstick to, you know, make it through college, so I just didn't. After I graduated and I started making some money and I started buying makeup, obviously, because I started my YouTube channel, MAC just was one, it was off its pedestal. No one really talked about it as much, so it kind of fell off my radar. Even though I still knew they existed, I just was no longer that interested. And not even that I was super interested to begin with. To me, and this may be a very unpopular opinion, I find standard MAC products boring. But their standard just black and silver packaging doesn't appeal to me. I just overlook it. And another part to it too is I think that it's pro cosmetics. So when I think MAC, I think professionals, and I'm not a professional at all. I can't even put on my liquid lipstick on without getting outside my lip line. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. So second company, and another one that I think might actually shock most people that I've never tried, is Morphe. Now I know this is a super unpopular opinion. Most of us are really tired of the Morphe discount codes at this point. I've just, again, never been that drawn to a Morphe product. Now, that does go without saying, I do have a couple of their brushes. I got a couple of their brushes off of Haute Look 4 or 5 years ago. Loved the brushes, that I still have them. They're still really good brushes, but as for everything else, like makeup wise, I've never tried anything, and I've just not been that interested. The thing that I think most people own and that most people stand behind is the original Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't watch Jaclyn Hill. I used to watch Jaclyn Hill years ago, but over the last 2 years, I've just kind of fallen out of touch with her. I don't relate to her personality anymore. I don't relate to her lifestyle. This is completely a personal choice. I recently did a massive declutter of large beauty YouTubers in my subscription feed, and she's one of them. I just haven't been jiving with her. And when that palette came out, beautiful palette, everyone talks highly of it, talks about how great the shadows are. I'm just not that compelled. I wish her all the success in the world, which she clearly is doing, which I think is amazing to start from nothing and to become what she is. I just personally I'm not attached to Jaclyn Hill. As far as other Morphe products, I honestly can't think of any other than the giant 35 pan palettes, and those are just massive, and I've never been that drawn to Morphe. Third company that I've never used anything from is Sigma. Now, Sigma's not a brand that I'm not interested in, if that makes sense. I really do want to try some of their brushes. and I've talked about this before, I'm just not really someone who enjoys buying makeup brushes. I do it very rarely. I get overwhelmed and I don't know how different they are. So when it comes to sitting down to buy brushes from Sigma, I panic and I exit out of the screen. So I've never bought anything. Now, one brand I haven't tried, I know is going to be controversial that I'm bringing this up, and that's J Cosmetics, J-Star, the Jeff Meister, the alien queen from above. I will not lie, I used to hardcore be a Jeffree Star supporter. I thought he changed, I thought all of this stuff. Here lately, I'm really questioning my judgment on people, because people that I thought were good people, stuff comes out about them where I'm like, oh, well, shoot. So I really am questioning my judgment. I think I get very blinded by certain things through YouTube. I think I want to see the good side in people, and I want to believe that even if they're talking about something controversial, it means that they're being honest, but that's not necessarily the case. So with Jeffree Star, I'm on the fence. Because I truly believe people can change, but I'm not sure. And I don't want to support someone who could possibly be racist. We all know he has been, and while I want to support change and support people growing, I can't trust my own judgment when it comes to if people have actually changed. Never bought anything from them because I've always been on the fence about it. I think deep in my gut, I've always been on the fence about it. This is one of those things that I'll probably always be on the fence about, because I don't know him personally. I can't physically see change, and whether or not people are making up lies about him, I don't feel comfortable not being sure. So whereas I find that his products are gorgeous, beautiful, I think he's a brilliant businessman, and I think he has done so well for himself. There's such detrimental downfalls to his personality that may or may not be true, and I just don't know enough to ever support that. I'll get off my high horse now. To keep going down the controversial route, another brand that I've never tried is Beauty Blender. This may surprise people. I've never bought from Beauty Blender. I've never bought a sponge. I have never been in the place in my life where I want to spend $20 for a sponge. Never. I don't care how much money I'm making. $20 for a sponge when there's cheaper alternatives that work just as well for something that you wash off at the end of the day. I love my L'Oreal sponge. I love my EcoTool sponge. I love the Real Technique sponge. Like, I can't even come up with words to explain why it needs to be that expensive. This sponge better make me look like a freaking goddess. I just don't understand. I don't understand the price point. When Beauty Blender came onto the market and everyone was talking about how it's the best sponge in the world, $20 for, again, anything. I was in college. I didn't have the money. So luckily, me being broke, I feel like saved me from sinking into this hole. I just don't understand. And as far as the makeup line that they're coming out with now, there's tons of controversy around the shade range. Honestly, the foundation just didn't appeal to me anyways. So I haven't and probably won't ever buy from Beauty Blender. Number 6. I don't think I counted for like the last 2, but we're on number 6. So the 6th brand that I've never bought from is Violet Voss. Now, Violet Voss is one of those companies that I've been very, very interested in buying, but I was interested in them when they were doing a lot of YouTube collabs, and naturally I gravitate towards those because I'm on YouTube. But after taking a step back and looking at everything, I'm glad I didn't buy any of the collabs because I don't support the people they've done collabs with, or at least some of them. I don't know all of their collabs, but I don't support a lot of those people anymore. And as far as their other palettes, they're beautiful, but I don't hear anyone talk about them really when it comes to a non-collab palette. I've heard a few people talk about their new palette that's out right now, the Flamingo palette, and a lot of people don't like it, and then some people are like it's okay, but I'm not hearing like overwhelmingly good reviews, and so I'm on the fence about Violet Voss. I'm really not sure if I want to, if I don't want to. I'm just up in the air about it. Number 7, and this is actually a brand that I really do want to buy from, and that's Sugar Pill. Sugar Pill has pretty much been on the market the entire time I've been around YouTube, and they've always been talked about highly. All of their products seem like they're amazing, they're colorful, they're everything that's not in my collection. You guys know I am a neutral queen. I go for neutrals, always, easy. They're just easy for me to do, they're easy to wear, but I do love playing with color. I especially love playing with bright, vibrant, pigmented color, and that's everything that Sugar Pill is. Don't know why I haven't tried them. I need to make an order to Sugar Pill. Just need to. Number 8. This is a brand that I really want to try, but I'm just too broke to buy anything. Tatcha. Now I know they're really more of a skincare line, and I think I've gotten one sample from them of something that was amazing. Can't remember now because my brain wants to block it out because I can't afford anything. Now if I really wanted to, I would invest, but I just have really hard issues spending like how much on a setting spray? I don't know. Now I do love my skincare, and a lot of their skincare items do draw me in. I really wanted to try that freaking misting setting spray that everyone was using like 2 years ago, but I had a heart attack when I saw the price tag. I literally froze in my steps and I was like, what am I doing with my life right now? This money could go towards anything else. That maybe when I make tons of money one day, maybe. So number 9 is NARS. This is again one of those brands where people are probably like, how are you on YouTube and you've never tried NARS? Everyone's used NARS Orgasm Blush, and I feel like NARS is another one where the price tag was just too much for me, and also there's so many mixed reviews on NARS products. Now there's like the few standout products that everyone loves, but as far as everything else, I've never consistently heard anything talked about highly. Maybe I'm just crazy, but there's only 2 items that come to mind when I think of NARS, when I think of like positive reviews. That's the Laguna Bronzer and the Orgasm Blush. Bronzer is something you guys know I struggle with. I don't like buying them. They're always the wrong undertone for me. I find a bronzer I like and I stick to it. I've been using the Physicians Butter Bronzer for like 2 years straight, and I don't really deviate from it much because bronzer is something that for me on my skin tone I feel like goes wrong quickly. There's been times in videos where I've used different bronzers and like you can tell. So bronzer is just something I don't gravitate towards. It's outside of my comfort zone. It's just, it can go horribly wrong for me. So I'm not really interested in the Laguna Bronzer. Orgasm Blush, I am panning 2 blushes right now, and it has made me realize a couple things about blush. Blush takes 5,000 years to finish. It is one of those products that you use so little on your face on an average day that you don't go through blush quickly. I have like 10 blushes in my collection, and it's gonna be like, that's all I'm gonna need for years. The NARS packaging is like everything to me, like the way it feels, but I'm just not that interested. Number 10, the last one. This other brand is another one that I think people are gonna be shocked that I've never used, and that's Hourglass. Now Hourglass is right up there with all of these other brands. It is very expensive, but not only is it expensive, I'm on the fence about like what are their products. Like the ambient lighting palettes, everyone was talking about them, what, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I didn't get it. It may just be me. I just didn't get it. I was like, okay, so it's a powder. I am dry skinned. You guys know this if you watch me. I have extremely dry skin. I don't powder my face like ever, because when I do, it always emphasizes. I have yet to find a good powder that doesn't emphasize the dryness around like my jawline and my cheeks. So I don't really powder my face. So the idea of putting a powder all over my face to create like an ethereal glow, in my head I'm like, yeah, sounds great, sounds wonderful, but do I really want to spend $80 on something that may or may not work for me or may not make me happy? Because powders aren't always something that I feel good about. Sometimes they make me feel worse, to be honest. And then as far as like their foundations and stuff, they're really expensive. I feel like I haven't heard enough good things about their foundations for me to be drawn to one. The only one that comes to mind right now, just thinking off the top of my head, is the stick foundation that they have in like the triangular tube. I have tried some stick foundations and I almost always dislike them. I don't know what it is in sticks, like stick foundation forms, that I've never liked. I'm just not drawn to the stick foundation. I know a ton of people love it and they say it's great, but I'm just so apprehensive about trying out stick foundations that I'm just not sure about the brand in general. I don't know if it's products that I'll actually like, and it's really expensive. So alright guys, so that was 10 makeup companies or makeup brands that I've never tried before and why. Now if there were any brands that I talked about today where you're like, oh my god, you need to try XYZ, leave it down in the comments for me down below. I kind of want to do a follow-up video of this where I do order from some of these brands and try out some of their products with you guys and see what I think. I think that would be a really cool idea. If there's any brands that you also haven't tried, let me know that down below as well. I would just like to hear what kind of brands you guys haven't tried and like why you haven't tried them, so I don't feel like the only weirdo in the room. Just yeah. If you just want to say hi, also leave that down in the comments. And guys, that will be it for today's video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button before you leave, hit the like button, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Bye!